wine is flowing, so you know where we're going. We are going on a bacalot tour, and I'm your tour guide, Captain Zach, as with me always is the beans. Don't you fucking respond to that.
Or
no.
Tana.
Why don't you embrace the beans?
I have embraced the beans.
We're
clearly.
both drinking tequila. There is no champagne or wine flowing right now. It's tequila, and it is delightful. And what we're here to discuss, it's another episode classic of Does It Hold Up?
And today,
And for me, this is like a newbie thing because it's going to be a Disney, DCOM?
yes, a Disney Channel original movie from when I was a teenager. It came out in 2001.
Classic year.
Classic year.
Things
I think
were
when this released, I was
simple
14.
Simple times.
Starring
You're like, I don't know the name of this. Oh, no.
Ryan Merriman,
Oh,
he was also in Smart House, another DCOM.
I was gonna say
that
Henry-
we will watch at some point.
The legendary Henry Gibson in this somehow making an appearance.
So,
Oh, we haven't even said what it is.
yeah, if you haven't guessed it yet,
They probably haven't.
Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish. A fucking horror movie.
It was not a horror movie.
The beginning was the first 20 minutes, I was like, where's this going? This is a fucking horror movie.
Oh yeah, the first 20 minutes, like the angle of the camera when he was like talking to his parents and they were just
hold
all
on.
weird.
Let's name the premise is this kid's a leprechaun. Let's put that out there. This kid's it starts with him like winning a basketball game. He's like awesome at everything. And everyone's like, yeah, you're the best. And it turns out he's like half leprechaun. His mom's full leprechaun. And his dad's just a dude. Then you're into it. All right. So he doesn't know any of this stuff. And it's like Heritage Day? What was it?
Yeah, there's like Heritage Day at school coming up.
As
so-
we all know, Heritage Day that everyone has to participate in, I guess.
And he starts inquiring into his heritage. But you know, you guys know this movie. We don't need to.
Well, some people might not, but it's
Well,
like
then
he's
they
like,
should stop this episode, go watch it, and then come back.
That's not much of a time investment, I'll tell you that, I guess. It's like a tight 120. I don't know, that first 20 minutes where he's like, what's my heritage? It's like they look at him like he's insane. Like he's an absolute lunatic for wanting to know where they're from. And they're like, we're from Cleveland. And he's just like from before that. And they're like, don't ask questions. And like the camera angles are nuts. It's like, they're like really dramatic angles. And I'm like, this is weird. And everyone looks weird.
Really bad acting in that part too.
No.
Yeah.
Like the mom is like, we're from Cleveland. And like she keeps making like food dishes. And he's like, is this like from where we're from? Like, is this fried rice? And like, I'm like, do you think you're Chinese or Japanese or something?
No, he said Indian.
Yeah, Indian too. Like,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what is like, where does this kid think they're from? It was bananas. And then I got really confused. Okay. When the thing gets stolen and then like the next,
His lucky coin.
his lucky coin gets stolen that he wears around his neck that he has to wear apparently because he's the youngest in the clan, whatever.
O'Reilly.
Oh, the clan O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
Like the auto parts.
Yeah.
So
I mean, clearly, if you're going to be Irish, you have to have an O apostrophe on
yeah,
front of everything.
it's like a given. O'Malley's.
Has to be like Mick or O.
If you would have given me like $10 million, I would not have pegged where this fucking movie is going. Like, because at the halfway point, it just takes a turn for even like more bizarre. Like, I was just like, where the fuck are we going? And I'm fine with it, I guess, because I wasn't invested anyways. But like, I gotta go back to like, I didn't understand what was happening when the coin got stolen. And like, the mom all of a sudden was just like, oh, hey, what's going on there? And she had like a thick Irish accent. Her hair was like curly and red more so, I guess.
It's the same red. It was just down and super curly.
It-
Because she had been wearing it up the whole time, but even when she was wearing it up, you could tell that like, her hair was straightened.
But I didn't understand what was happening because like they were so like hush hush about everything. And then she's like, I just thought it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just tell them what we are and show them what we are. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. It wasn't very well, like, because like it's revealed like if you lose the coin, it takes away your protection of like looking normal.
Yeah, as long as the coin remains in your clan, you can appear human to everyone else.
Yeah, because spoiler alert, like 10 minutes later, she was like a foot tall, maybe smaller, and just being like, oh, I want to get my coin back. And you're like, what?
Actually, she seemed perfectly content.
No, she was happy as a clam. She was just like, let's go fucking get my coin back from my father who stole it. And he's like, who's your father? He's like, oh, it's that weird fucking Irishman, Henry Gibson, that talked to you at the fairgrounds. And they're like, he's like,
Who also owns like this major chip company.
Yeah, it's like this is like you don't even tell them who your grandfather is. You're like, no, because I married this rego over here, this douche rocket from Cleveland, and he's like, yeah, that's me. Like
There are a lot of messages in this movie.
it seemed oddly racist or xenophobic at times, and I couldn't put my finger on why. But
Maybe
it was
because he said Indian and not Native American.
now there were so many just stereotypes just thrown around that I was like, man, this is an interesting movie. It was a weird one. Xenon had some charm, not necessarily the second one, but I mean, Protozoa wasn't in this movie.
That's what it was missing.
I think it was
An
missing.
appearance by Protozoa.
Well, it did have like a dance number, obviously,
Obviously.
but like,
Because he can all of a sudden do like river dance stuff.
well, Riverdance, and then he started breakdancing in one part.
Yeah.
But like when they're like when they get the coin back, and the guy's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep your grandfather hostage," and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna bet you." And I was like, "Where the hell are they going?" And they're like, "We're gonna do a games, like a challenge of the games." And I was like, "Whoa, this is not where I thought this was going." And then there's just like a 20-30 minute scene of just them doing some fucking weird games that he just understands how to play some of them.
I don't know if he understood how to play them.
Was it technically cheating if he was still wearing his coin for that part though?
Well, he didn't win all of them, so.
How good could the coin be then? What was like that one leprechaun just like threw? Also, how come he was not like small? He got like insane later,
Yeah, he did like insane later.
and then he also shrunk down.
Because.
He didn't lose a coin.
I don't
He
know.
had like 1,000 coins.
Well, they weren't all his.
So there's probably a bunch of leprechauns, like full on, like small ones, walking around everywhere just because this guy stole their coins. Also, most of those look like East India Trading Company, like pirate coins for the most. Like if you looked at them, they were pirate
Yeah.
coins.
Stole gold.
I guess. I don't know. I have more questions than answers for this movie.
Can we talk about the fashion for a second?
It was beyond. It was like
He
late
was wearing.
90s.
No, it was 2001.
I know, but like it looked like late 90s, like attempt to be grunge. And I couldn't figure out where the hell they were. There was mountains everywhere, but some had snow and some were like grassy.
I mean, that could have been Colorado or California.
Maybe it was Ireland.
I don't think they were in Ireland. Nobody had an Irish accent except the mom when she shrunk down.
No, and the kid would go in and out of it for some reason. All of a sudden, he's like, "Oh, what were the chips called? A bag of taters or a bag of
Spuds.
A bag of spuds. Give him a bag of spuds.
That's all I'm going to call potatoes now are spuds.
Give me that bag of spuds." He's like, and yeah, he said that in one part. He's like, "Oh shit, I can't say that." And then like the fucking nosy wannabe girlfriend that was there the whole time, just being like, "Oh, I'm okay with this that you have a leprechaun in your family." Like she sees the mom. Like,
She was intrigued by it.
she was just like, "Oh, your mom's like 6 inches tall and a leprechaun, and your ears are pointy and your hair is red." I like how they depicted him turning into a
Really bad red.
yeah.
highlights.
It was weird, but they were like the depiction of him turning into a leprechaun was, "We're gonna make your hair like fiery red, kind of, and we're gonna make your ears pointy, and we're gonna make your friend taller than you."
I don't know if you know this, but Ireland does not have any brunettes, blondes, or people with black hair. They're all redheads.
Is this actually true?
So-
Because I don't believe you.
No, it's not actually true.
Okay, well, we're gonna put it like a community notes or whatever on that.
I mean, look at Colin Farrell.
Fact check.
No, but the fashion. He was wearing shirts on shirts on shirts.
Yeah, he had like 4 layers, I think, on like he had like a long sleeve, a short sleeve over that, a vest on over that.
He had a
then,
short
like,
sleeve under the long sleeve, too.
yeah, he was just like layering up. I don't know how cold or hot it was. Sometimes there was like multiple levels of craziness. He had a bucket hat on in one part.
Also, like,
Bucket hat or fisherman's hat. What are those called? Bucket hats?
bucket hats, yeah.
It was like as made famous by the band Cake.
When he loses he doesn't lose the game for his school, but, you know, he's just not on his game because he's lost his coin. And he still win the next day at school. Like, all the kids are just like, ugh, you suck now. And, like,
Yeah.
all the girls, like, aren't interested in him or anymore or anything. Just like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, that sucks, dude." They're treating him like a leper.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're the pariah now. You ruined the game, and like you still won." They're like, "Fuck you." The questions I have: why would he bring a bucket of like pig's hooves as his
Yeah,
like,
his
lunch?
mom makes him like an Irish dish.
It's
to
disgusting.
take.
It's in a bucket
It's
of
also
chum.
like a rusty bucket.
Yeah, it's like, here's a rusty chum bucket, dude. Go to lunch with this, and you're like, this is gonna be like a health hazard because it smells first off, and then it like dumps all over him. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up.
But like, why would he take that to school anyways? You ditch that before you get to school. In between
Yeah,
your
you
house
throw
and
that
school,
away.
you toss it.
You throw that away. But I mean, like the breakfast that she made, I was like, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Except for like the blood sausage. I was like, man, that looks good. I was like, what are they complaining about?
Well, I think it's just that it was out of the norm for.
What was the
For-
norm? They were all over the place.
No, because when he's asking about if the food that she was cooking was like a reflection of their heritage, and the dad was like,
No, we're from Cleveland.
he was like, you should be appreciative that your mother cooks us such healthy food.
Yeah, that was not healthy what she was making.
Yeah, so the next
It was
morning
like
she's not
it was
making
like
anything
6
healthy.
meats. Like,
Yeah, so that's why they were questioning.
well, the dad's like even confused. He's just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, wait, if you're confused, then what's happening? He should know what's happening. Mr. Smith, who changed his name from Smith to Johnson. That part, I'm like, is this important? I'm like, what's up with the dad? Because like he doesn't look like a leprechaun, and now we know why. Because he's not. He's a rego, and her family excommunicated her because he's just a dude from Cleveland.
Well, he changed his name because they didn't want her dad following them.
I mean, how would they not know? Her dad, like, she knows her dad's like right next door, like down the street, selling chips. So I didn't get that either.
Spuds.
Yeah, selling some spuds. But it's
bags
also,
of spuds.
it's Henry Gibson.
Okay, you keep saying it's Henry Gibson.
He's like
but
a more well-known actor.
I don't know what I would have seen him in.
Obviously, Biodome.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about Biodome.
I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, but like it was one of those things. I'm like, why is this guy in his? He's in a DCOM movie.
I mean, he passed away a few years after that, so
Of that, no, he didn't pass
Yeah,
away
he
that
did.
long. Hold on, now I gotta fall down a rabbit hole real quick in the middle of this.
so maybe it's just like, I'm getting really old.
You better do a
Probably don't.
DCOM.
Don't have too many acting opportunities left.
He passed away in 2009.
So 8 years later.
Yeah, that's not a few. Like a few is like 3.
I thought you'd have more colorful commentary.
Like what? You want me to hate on it more? It just made no sense to me. Like they had like it just bounced all around. There's not much to say about this movie for me. What do you want me to say?
Xenon got 6.3.
That's about right. Fair. What do you think it's gonna be a 10?
It's a 10 in my book.
We're gonna break the bank on this one. This one, like Breaking Bad, right, one of the highest rated shows ever, is like a 9.1 or something like that. Xenon, 10. Flawless.
It was flawless. So overall, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I just think it's a fucking nutty ass movie. A bizarre premise that makes very little sense. Of like, when I think of a leprechaun, I don't think of like a 6-inch tall person. Like, I'm thinking like the movie The Leprechaun with Warwick Davis as like a horror show. Like,
See, I do think of like a 6-inch tall person when I think of a leprechaun.
so you're going with Lucky Charms?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think they're all evil.
like the Leprechaun movies?
Yeah.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yeah. They have good and bad leprechauns, just like the human race.
So you're saying we're good and bad leprechauns too?
I'm saying humans are good and bad. So
there's-
are leprechauns.
So you're saying there's more to this movie?
Yeah.
Because the bad leprechaun was the dude. That guy looked like more like the leprechaun.
He really did.
He got crazy at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This
He's
shit-
had a lot of acting credits.
This shit just got deep. Are you saying there's more to this story than meets the eye?
I think so, and I think you missed that when we watched it the first time, which means we probably need to watch it again.
I mean, is this a classic hero's journey?
Yeah.
The dichotomy versus good versus evil? Mm-hmm. Like the light, dark, yang, chips, spuds?
And now
Whoa.
Kyle Johnson can like know his family's heritage and appreciate that.
Oh, man. This is deep. I still don't like it.
I love it.
This is like a classic Siskel and Ebert moment. You're like, I give it 2 thumbs up. And I'm like, I give it 2 thumbs down. I wish I had more thumbs to give this more thumbs down.
I mean, but I think part of it too is that, like I watched this when I was 14 and I had like a huge crush on Ryan Merriman.
Oh,
then.
of course. He's a heartthrob.
He was a heartthrob.
Is. How dare you? The only DCOM movie I've ever seen is Mr. Boogedy. That's the only one I actually grew up with watching. And I guarantee you've seen it now. I don't know if you remember it, but it's a heaping pile of trash. But for some reason, you're right. Yeah, it holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible fucking movie. And I understand that. I think You need to understand that these are not good movies.
They are.
And you're like,
I love them.
you're just like, God, this is such good cinema. I'm like, no. It quantifies as a movie, I guess. I'll give it this. I'd rather watch this than like, Captain Marvel.
It's fair.
Okay. And a lot of other things actually. I mean, I've seen some bad movies.
Yeah.
I've seen over 350 films. I put this right in the middle then. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad.
It's 6.1.
I'd put it like a 5.1. I'm
Okay.
gonna take it down a peg. I don't know who's giving it a 6.1 out there.
I'm gonna give it like 7.2.
Not a 9.9.
No, cause Xenon's a 10.
What was Xenon 2?
Like,
4?
are you talking about IMDb or my
No,
personal?
your personal opinion of Xenon 2.
Oh, that one's like 9.7.
Okay, so that one's almost perfect too. So obviously a flawless movie. So this one's not like
The
a
only way that Xenon the sequel could have been better is if Gregory Smith were in it.
Who's that?
Her love interest in the first one.
Oh, the one that were just like he just fucking blew her off.
Yeah, he was probably busy filming real shows.
Ouch. Little harsh, Gretch.
He was on some.
Also, Raven Simone's just like, peace out. I'm not gonna be in this fucking movie.
She was probably busy filming that So Raven.
She's like, I'm fucking Raven Simone. Fuck off. I'm gonna do my own thing. And they're like, Peacock's gotta fly. Gotta let her go. Like, swap her out. No one will ever know. And they're like, that's not Raven Simone.
All right, we're getting off topic of
This is turning into Xenon 2, the sequel.
the sequel.
I think I like Xenon just because of the words they made up, like Zetus Lapidus. I think that had more like of those nonsense moments.
All right.
What my final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Final score.
If you want to watch a movie that's stereotyping lots of ethnicities and leprechaun culture, I guess.
We'd call that Irish culture.
No, this is leprechaun culture. This is the movie for you. We watched it on St. Patty's Day sober. Maybe I should have been drinking. I might have liked it more. Or less. It's a crapshoot with me.
And drinking less when you weren't drinking.
If I was drinking more, I might have liked it even less.
I enjoyed it still.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, we got that. You're like, I give it a 10. I give it a solid 10. I don't see any flaws in this movie. Character development, solid.
7.5.
Plot, solid. Acting, solid. Like, the mom deserves an Oscar.
I mean, that Irish accent was pretty on point.
You don't think she was Irish?
IRL?
Yeah. No, don't look it up now. Just,
We can end it, but I still need to know.
It just says Irish as fuck. Irish AF. And we're like, oh, I guess she was Irish.
You know what I do want to know is
Is if the dad were Irish and he was doing an American accent.
No, I want to know how many people watch this movie on St. Patrick's Day every year.
Well, they play it every year apparently on Disney Channel.
Do they?
On St. Patty's Day. Yeah, I had to look at all the trivia, which was very few. All right. Close this out.
There's a great big pretty okay tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day. Thanks. You've been here.